Long ago, there lived a king and his son, Prince Adrian. Despite being blessed with intelligence and potential, Prince Adrian was plagued by a relentless enemy, laziness. This silent adversary had a stranglehold on the young prince, preventing him from achieving greatness. Adrian's life was a series of unfinished projects and missed opportunities. He would start a task with enthusiasm, but his motivation would quickly wane, leading him to retreat into the comforting arms of procrastination. The townsfolk often spoke of his wasted potential, and though Adrian's heart burned with the desire to change, he felt powerless against the formidable foe within. One fateful day, as Adrian sat idly in his chambers, a loud knock echoed through the palace halls. He opened the door to find an old man with a long, flowing beard and piercing eyes. The man introduced himself as Sage Kale, a wise advisor known for his ability to transform lives. He had heard of Adrian's plight and had come to offer his guidance. Prince Adrian, Sage Kale began, laziness is not just a habit, it is an enemy that resides within you. To overcome it, you must wage war against it with the weapon of self-discipline. Adrian was intrigued and slightly skeptical. How do I fight something that is a part of me? He asked. Sage Kale smiled knowingly. First step is to recognize that laziness is not a part of you, but a force that holds you back. You must separate yourself from it and confront it as you would an external enemy. Sage Kale took Adrian under his wing, and their training began the next morning at dawn. The first lesson was the importance of a routine. Adrian was to wake up at the same time every day, no matter how much his body protested. The sage explained that discipline starts with small, consistent actions. The enemy thrives on inconsistency, Sage Kale explained. By establishing a routine, you weaken its grip on you. The initial days were grueling. Adrian's body and mind resisted the change. Comfort of his bed and the allure of delaying tasks tugged at him constantly. Sage Kale was relentless. He introduced Adrian to meditation, teaching him to focus his mind, gain control over his thoughts. This practice, though challenging, slowly began to yield results. Adrian found that as his mind became clearer, his resolve grew stronger. As weeks turned into months, Adrian started experiencing small victories. Tasks that once seemed insurmountable were now being completed with ease. He began setting daily goals and achieved them, no matter how insignificant they seemed. These victories, Sage Kale explained, were crucial in building self-discipline. Every goal you achieve, no matter how small, is a battle won, Sage Kale said. These victories build momentum and erode the enemy's strength. Adrian's confidence grew. He started taking on more significant challenges, applying the same principles he had learned. But once overwhelming projects were broken down into manageable tasks, and with each completed task, Adrian felt a surge of pride and accomplishment. However, the journey was not without setbacks. There were days when the old habits clawed their way back. Adrian would find himself slipping into procrastination, and the familiar feelings of guilt and frustration would resurface. During these times, Sage Kale reminded Adrian that setbacks were a natural part of the process. The enemy will never fully retreat, the sage warned. It will lie in wait, seeking moments of weakness. When you stumble, do not despair. Acknowledge the setback, learn from it, and resume the battle. Adrian took these words to heart. Instead of succumbing to self-pity, he used his failures as learning opportunities. He analyzed what led to his lapses and adjusted his strategies accordingly. This adaptability became another weapon in his arsenal against laziness. One pivotal moment came when Adrian decided to pursue a lifelong dream of becoming a writer. He had always loved storytelling, but had never mustered the discipline to write consistently. With Sage Kale's guidance, Adrian developed a writing routine. Every morning, he would write for an hour before starting his day. The first few weeks were tough. The words did not flow easily and doubts plagued his mind. But Adrian persisted. He remembered Sage Kale's teachings about consistency and the power of small victories. Slowly, the act of writing became a habit. His stories began to take shape, and the joy of creation replaced the dread of the blank page. Adrian's progress was not just internal. The townsfolk began to notice the change in him. He was no longer the idle dreamer, but a man of action and purpose. His transformation inspired others in Voltorium, and soon a group of young people approached him, seeking his guidance in overcoming their struggles. Sage Kale watched with pride as Adrian took on the role of a mentor. He shared his journey with the group, teaching them the principles he had learned. They too began to see the value of routines, small victories, and the importance of resilience in the face of setbacks. One day, Sage Kale called Adrian aside. "You have done well, Adrian. You have not only fought your own battles, but have become a beacon of hope for others. Your journey is far from over, but you are now equipped with the knowledge and strength to continue it." Adrian bowed deeply, gratitude swelling in his heart. "Thank you, Sage Kale. I could not have done this without you." Sage smiled. "Remember, the enemy within is ever present, but so is the warrior you have become. Continue to fight, continue to grow, and never forget that the greatest battles are often fought within." Years passed, and Adrian's life blossomed in ways he had never imagined. His writing gained recognition, and his stories touched the hearts of many. The once lazy and directionless young prince had become a symbol of perseverance and self-discipline. Ultoria too transformed. Inspired by Adrian's example, the kingdom became a hub of creativity and productivity. People learned to embrace discipline, not as a rigid constraint, but as a path to freedom and fulfillment. Adrian never forgot the lessons he had learned from Sage Kale. He continued to mentor others, spreading the wisdom of self-discipline. He often reflected on his journey, realizing that the battle against laziness was ongoing, but he was no longer fighting it alone. The community he had helped build stood by him, and together, they faced their inner battles with courage and determination. Adrian's story serves as a reminder that the fight against laziness and the quest for self-discipline is a lifelong journey. It requires patience, resilience, and the willingness to confront our weaknesses. The enemy within may never be fully vanquished, but with the right mindset and strategies, we can keep it at bay and achieve greatness. In the end, the true victory lies not in the absence of struggle, but in the strength to rise above it. Adrian's journey from laziness to self-discipline is a testament to the power of human will and the potential that lies within each of us to transform our lives.